looking for you. I brushed it off, pushed it aside, but I couldn't help. I was looking for you. Yeah, I was looking for you. I have a house surrounded. I have the silence in the road. Just a finger in the door. As if coming for the storm. If I fall, you catch me. Push me back up on my feet. See the strength inside.
Hello and welcome everybody to a wonderful Tuesday here at the HCK Beagles Racing League, where we got a great one here for you tonight. Saw a little preview last week. Well, this is the main event. We have ourselves some all-star racing here at North Wilkesboro, and man, it's gonna be a good one if last week was anything that goes to show for it. We're going to start things off, however, with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And thank you, everybody. Like I said, we're in for a great all-star race here tonight, all brought to you by Paints by Special Ed, our good friend Eddie Murray. He's going to be out there racing him, having himself a wonderful all-star race down there on track today. But yeah, we got a whole bunch of laps and a whole bunch of racing to get to, so let's start things off the right way. I am Alan Brown, and I am joined as always by Mr. Alan English. Alan, how you doing tonight, man?
Good, man. It's going to be an interesting night. We saw last week during their practice session that we broadcasted here that it's exciting to see these guys that we see pack racing all the time on super speedways, and they brought it to a short track and made it a whole lot of fun. And we're going to see that again tonight with also some heat racing to get things started. So kick back. It's going to be like your Saturday night short track at your hometown with a little heat racing before our 100-lap feature.
That indeed. And down there on pit road, we got Mr. Adam Turner. Adam, how are you feeling tonight, man?
I'm feeling about the same as the English, I think. It's almost like a regular Saturday night at the local track. Heat racing, which is interesting. I think they're inverting the winners of these heat races into the main. It's going to be cool. I did hear the admins talk about there's a special surprise. I don't know what that is. Maybe we'll find that out as the night goes along. But as usual, you're going to have two fast repairs. So 60% fuel, that may come into play during the main. But for the first part, we're just going to see them kind of let it rip and have fun. I think right now we have 18 drivers, so it should be 2 or 3 heats and on to the main. So it's all for fun, but the winner gets money on this deal, so there will be some competition as well.
That indeed, I believe the winner is going to be taking home 50 big old doll hairs tonight, which is something you definitely would see at these kind of Saturday night races. But we're racing in the daytime here from North Wilkesboro. Nice sunshiny day, but the weather's looking really good. Track temp not too hot, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue for these drivers. However, that does bring us to that key to the race, and it is input control. We saw it a lot last week. People getting a little too hard on the gas, a little too hard on the brake, and man, that car will just spin right around, and that does not make for a fun day.
Well, I'm glad you put it that way. Input control, because it's not just throttle control here. It's trying to keep from locking those brakes up as well. At least with the cooler track temp, it may help their grip level just a touch out there. But keep in mind, this is an old track surface. Okay, it's very abrasive. They're going to tear up some tires. But do what you can as far as input control to minimize getting loose off and getting tight in.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better. That turn 4 seems to be quite the booger for everybody there. If you hit it too hot, you're going to push up the track. You come in too hot out of it, you're going to be all over the track and into the wall. So, and we saw that, but these guys kind of learned the track last week. They're used to super speedways, but now they're at your local short track. And this is an awesome track, by the way. I think iRacing has done an awesome job by recreating this track that should still be in play today, but for the powers that be, it's not.
No, but I mean, not only that, but we had quite a few people, just kind of watching the talk in Discord over the week and everything, and you got people like Kevin Winker. I mean, we saw him lead quite a few laps last week, and yeah, right now he's qualified 5th, so he's probably going to be in just trying to do the math. I think the 2nd or 3rd heat here. It just goes to show anyone can really pick this track up and really make it their own and get a good result here.
Yeah, and Andrew Hansley, who's chimed in on Facebook, says that he put some practice in. He got a couple of laps even breaking into the 18s. So he feels a lot more comfortable and faster than he did last week. Gregor Turner saying, let's go racing, boys. And Albert Anderson, of course, joining us as always, saying, looking forward to some good racing tonight. Always a good show from HCK.
Yes, it is, as we start to get gridded up here for heat number 1. And everybody getting all lined up here. We got Gregory Turner going to be starting up at the front with Steven Naylor right beside him in that 5 truck. You got the 12 of Austin Johnson starting out in row number 2 with Mark Collins right outside of him. Then you got Cody Staten in that 15. He's going to be starting here in 5th with Eric Stoy in 6th.
So the way it shakes out, we're going to have 3 heats of 6 trucks each. And that's going to set our field for the feature.
Yeah, I think that's going to be perfect, too. I mean, just enough trucks out there to make it fun, and probably just enough to not get into a bunch of mayhem during the heat racing. So I'm looking forward to this, guys. Man, this is something different we don't normally do.
Oh, yeah.
No, this is going to be some high-flying action that we normally get from... when we first did a couple of road races, or not road races, the dirt track, man, those were some fun races when we did those, and looking forward to some great bumping and banging action here tonight as we get ready to go to green flag racing here for the first time in heat number 1. The lights on that pace truck are off. All eyes on this first heat, and if you're any of these guys, currently waiting and just waiting for their heat to start, go ahead. I'm sure they're going to be sitting.
Oh, they're watching.
They're watching and taking notes on, like, hey, this worked out. Hey, that didn't work out. So definitely a great note-taking time here for those guys. However, that pace truck is turning down pit lane. Side by side we go. Greg Turner and Steven Naylor across the line. Green flag is waving. Here we go. Green flag racing in heat number 1. Really good restart there, or first start, I should say, for the 5 of Steven Naylor, as we got a wreck behind the entire field. Looks like Cody Staten and Eric Stoy having a little bit of an issue back there. Eric Stoy getting the worst end of that, so we got a little bit of a 3-car break up here at the front with Steven Naylor. Mark Collins was able to slide up through as well, so Gregory Turner's sliding all the way back into 3rd already. Austin Johnson and Cody Staten kind of getting all tangled up in that mess. It looks like that 12 of Austin Johnson got a little hit from the behind as well.
Yeah, he got hung up in all of it there. He was kind of in the middle and got pinched every which way but loose. But, man, this is not going to hurt anything. We're going to have a mission race here, but I think those guys may remember what happened there on that first corner.
Watch that 25 truck of Mark Collins. He's one of your numb thumbs guys out there racing, and Richard G's pulling for him on YouTube. Thanks for joining us, Richard.
Yeah, we just had Gregory Turner pull that move where he accelerated too hard coming out of 4 and spun that thing across this finish line there.
Well, the good thing about only having 6 trucks on the track is these guys can get it back collected and get back in the hunt. They don't have to worry about getting hit by 36 other trucks coming by.
That is also true, as it's now kind of 2 cars up in front, and then you got Austin Johnson there in third with Cody Staten right behind him. Gregory Turner's going to have some work to do to try to catch on up as... Oh, no, Austin Johnson having a bit of an issue there, and that's going to bring out the caution as it did not get off the racing surface. It stayed out on the track, so let's go back and see what happened to the 12 of Johnson, and man, it's just what we thought. Maybe a little too much throttle coming off of turn number 4, and around he went. Thankfully, impact wasn't too hard there, but he's going to be able to come on down into pit lane and get things fixed up and try to get back out there. And who knows, this, nerves, especially in the first heat, you got everybody watching you. Nerves are going to be running a little higher than normal. So it's a good time to get reset, take a breath, and look forward to some more racing here in just a few moments.
It's cool to see is these guys cheering for each other. The guys that aren't in the heat right now are watching and cheering on the other cats. Justin Lawson's pulling for Naylor right now. Lawson's actually getting cheered on by Kayla. So as soon as he gets out there on the track, we'll be able to see some racing.
Well, I don't know how much cheering she's doing because she's heading off to bed and saying, hey, don't wake me up.
Oh, she's going to watch it, though. She's going to watch it. Might not watch it tonight. If she wakes up, she'll watch it.
I mean, it's must-see TV at this point. These guys are in the All-Star Race.
Yep.
What about when you spin that thing out of 4 like we see so many times? There's just no room down low to run off, right? That wall's right there,
Yep.
Put road's right there, so that's where you're going to see your caution. So a lot of times when that happens on the backstretch out of 1, they can get in that grass and kind of clear out of the way, but that's real tight up front there.
Well, and once it breaks loose and you're beyond the point of saving it, Alan, you're just kind of along for the ride, aren't you? I mean, once you overcome, that spot where you can save it, just hold the brake and pray you don't hit the inside wall.
Yeah, that's 100% correct. This track is not... you can actually kind of see it more on this blimp cam. It's not the same everywhere you go. Each corner is different. I mean, each foot of this track is just a little bit different from the last one. So these guys are having to adjust a little bit on the fly here as we get all stacked back up and ready to go back to racing here with Stephen Naylor and Mark Collins up here at the front. Getting ready to take to this green flag.
Miss Carroll's cheering on Andrew. Miss Carroll, you're going to have to wait till heat number 3. That's when you're going to see Andrew Hensley the 4th out there running as the pace truck's off.
Pace truck is off, and green flag racing here again. Stephen Naylor, man, oh man, talk about the jump of a century there. Able to get way out in front, really no pressure behind him. So we got a lot of trucks all fighting, trying to get up through and maybe challenge Stephen here for that first heat win. You got the 15 of Cody Staten side by side with Mark Collins here as they came across the line, still side by side as they went off down into turns 1 and 2 here again. There comes that 4 of Eric Stoy. We saw him use some interesting tactics the other day. He was really running that inside line, trying to make that one work at oh man, what was it? It was one of the...
Nope. Don't get me lying.
Was it Michigan? I think maybe.
Yeah, it might have been. I think it was Michigan. Yeah, and
I think so.
Everyone was kind of running up on that kind of higher line as we're up here at the lead, battling for a lead change between the 25 and the 5. Looking very racy, Mark Collins here tonight with Stephen Naylor.
There goes Austin Johnson around big time. Made a couple of loops.
He's still stuck against that wall. We'll see if he can't get it going before the leaders come back around to him here. As here comes that 4 of Stoy looking through the inside. He's now up inside of that 25, but not able to quite get the run off of the corner.
Whoa, a little bump and run there by the 25, sending the 5 cornflake
that's
truck up the track.
That's old school racing. Right
Yeah, it
there,
is.
not? About 10 laps to go here. They're starting to sort this thing out.
And still side by side they go all the way through that front stretch there, the 25 and the 5, with the 4 lurking, just waiting for an opportunity to get a run and try to get by some of these guys. But Cody Staten's right there trying to make his life a little bit more difficult, as well as Gregory Turner, Little Rimmer himself, trying to just hang on to this field and try to maybe pick up some pieces here of what might happen at the end, as that 5 Stephen Naylor, I think, is finally able to get a little bit of breathing room and get back onto the racing line that he was wanting to run originally.
Comes Eric Stoy in that 4 truck, sticking his nose back down, and he loses it.
Able to almost save it. I think his truck might be smoking just a little bit, or it might have just been a graphic thing, but the 4 of Eric Stoy going down and hitting that inside wall now with 8 laps to go. That's also the other tricky thing of being forced to kind of stay down low, as I believe that was the 69 of Gregory Turner getting a little loose coming across the line there. Was you got to be even more careful if you're not able to let that truck drift all the way out to the wall on these exits.
Got an Alabama old man also joining us on YouTube. Thanks for coming. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no. I was going to say, we're 20 laps in. What do you think the tires are like right now for these guys?
Well, if they're turning hard like a couple of these guys up front are, that right front's going to get ate up. I don't know about the couple of cars. Like, look at Cody running around back here. He might be saving tires for the end of this heat. Well, we're going to find out, aren't we?
Yeah, that we are. I think 25 laps, though, isn't too bad on these things, as here comes that 25 looking to the inside of that 5 again. Man, Mark Collins and Stephen Naylor really showing that they put in some work the last couple of weeks here to really get this track down, and they're definitely starting to show some skill, as the 15 of Cody Staten now sitting there giving a little bump to the 25. Oh no, there goes that 25. So trying to get it back going onto the track, and big contact. So now with 3 laps to go, Stephen Naylor almost a second gap back to Cody Staten. Does Cody Staten have enough time to try to close it and maybe do a little bump and run on him to get this heat win, as they come across the line here? 2 laps to go now.
Do you think Nump Thumbs Racing will Cody Staten took like a power move there, kind of like Dale Earnhardt, Bill Elliott style back in the day? That was a little early for that, but I like it. Kind of a little dump and run.
Rusty Wallace at Bristol or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, white flag is out, so this is the final lap here in heat number 1. Stephen Naylor, 3/4 of a second clear of second of Cody Staten. Stephen Naylor doing a very good job in this heat. You can see a little bit of damage on that back bumper from maybe one of those bump and runs, but great job here from the 5, winning heat number 1. Cody Staten in second, with Eric Stoy coming back from a little incident there, able to round out your top 3 to finish heat number 1. You also had that 12 of Austin Johnson tried to make a little pass there at the end, but not quite able to do so. So now we move on to heat number 2, where we have the 20 of Justin Lawson starting up at the front, and Eddie Murray, our proud sponsor here tonight, Paints by Special Ed, starting there in second. You got the 31 of Bradley Clay starting there in third, with Derek Welch in his number 1 truck starting here in fourth. Paul Durkee's going to be starting here in fifth, and Kevin Winker is going to be rounding out your field here.
So I don't want to say it doesn't matter where they finish, because it does, but there's going to be some inversion and stuff that happens later on. So get ready for that. There's going to be some field flipping going on. And Angry Indian 89, thanks for joining us on Twitch as always. We appreciate you. And Justin Lawson said 25 was eating cornflakes on that last restart. Talk about with the 25, kind of give the 5 a shot. Good eye on that if you were watching, for sure. Well, predictions, guys. Old Kevin in the 42, pretty stout.
Yeah, I think he's he's always front runner. I don't know. I think
Short
maybe
track, though.
yeah, the number 1 Paul Durkee. I think he's gonna have a nice race, but we'll see.
Derek Welch, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Derek Welch. I num thumbs. I get them confused. They have similar paints. Derek Welch, that's correct. Yeah, those guys, I think they put in the time, and we'll see how it ends up here.
That we do, as that pace truck going to get ready to come down into pit lane. In fact, here he comes now. So off and running the 20 of Justin Lawson. Great start there for him, trying to get out in front of this crazy field, trying to chase him down. You got Eddie Murray and Bradley Clay side by side going down this back straightaway, with Kevin Winker trying to improve upon his starting position there from all the way in the back here in heat number 2. And it seems like things are starting to get figured out just a little bit here. Still side-by-side action, though, with the 6 and the 33. Man, that 33 of Eddie Murray started way up in the front. Ooh, little tap there with the 1 of Derek Welch. But he did not have the restart that he wanted. Ended up going all the way from the front all the way to the back. So now we got battle here between the 31 Bradley Clay and the 42 of Kevin Winker. And, man, you called it there, Turner. Got to watch out for that 42. And I think you called it as well there, Mr. English, that 42 of Winker. He can definitely fly through this field if he wants to. And just like that, he's up into second, and he's now trying to chase down that 20.
Yeah, Adam was mentioning the 1 of Derek Welch. The 1 of Derek Welch is not afraid to go up there and rub some people. And
No,
he's been using that bumper some. I love seeing that short track.
What's surprising to me right now is how the 20 of Justin Lawson is just seems like he's got a steady pace ahead of everyone. I don't know if he's burning his tires up or he's just that much better than these guys right now.
He's in another time zone for a reason. I mean, he probably is pushing those tires hard early, hoping he can get a couple of slow laps on a caution, maybe kind of level things out. But yeah, wasting no time. He's hauling butt.
Yeah, you're definitely not kidding there, as we're just a few laps into this race. We start to continue to work on this heat. Why is that not showing up?
The 31 is running that low line, trying to make it work. It's not going to get him around the 42, I don't think. But it's definitely helping the 6 catch up to him, as the 6 kind of went low and took that line away. .31 kind of doing a diamond on these corners.
A little contact there with the 6 of Paul Durkee, though, as they go door banging down this stretch. All right, so that's not working, so we're just going to go to this.
Yeah, the computer never wants to work. You just got to slap it around every once in a while.
Adapt and overcome. We got it. Yeah, sometimes heat racing kind of throws overlays for loops now and then.
Yeah. And even that doesn't want to work quite right, but as of right now, that's okay. As that 20 of Lawson still way out in front, but Kevin Winker is slowly, ever so slowly, trying to reel him in. As we got the 1 of Derek Welch back up to that back bumper of the 6 of Paul Durkee.
You know what it's doing? It's still got last heat's names up there, and it's trying to put this heat's names on top of it. That's what it looks like.
Ooh, good save there from Derek Welch, getting loose through turns 3 and 4, able to kind of save that and bring it back around, as Bradley Clay is feeling some pressure here from that 6 of Durkee. Man, Durkee's been doing pretty well here the last couple of weeks. He's been definitely putting his name out there, saying, hey, I know some of these guys like Lawson and Winker get a lot of the attention, but I'm out here racing too, fellas.
Yeah, Bruce Muehlberger joining us again tonight, saying good evening, everyone, and let's go number 42. Thanks for joining us, Bruce, as always. Ooh, the 6 got a little bit loose.
Yeah, he did. You can hear him running that throttle as he goes to the inside of the 31. Oh, almost a little bit of contact there, but able to keep it off of each other.
31's got that great line where he goes in low, up high, and then exits low. You can tell he's been practicing that one. 6 able to get it in there this time, though, so he'll take the position.
Yes, he is. As a 31 tried to make a last-second charge there, kind of exiting the corner, but not able to do it. So now the race is on up here at the front. Can Justin Lawson keep Kevin Winker at bay? The gap is now just over a second, about a second and a quarter. It was right around 2 seconds, so Winker has been eating that time up. Problem is, he's only got 9 more laps to go.
Yeah, well, 9 laps here is going to go by pretty quick. So we'll see if he can finish the task here. But, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of a test run for the main, and I think Winker's going to run from the back of the main probably to the front at some point. So that's a good one to keep your eye out on for.
Well, he's making a little bit of ground on Lawson. It's less than a second, but a second here, that's a pretty good ways.
As he starts to run into some lap traffic here with the 33 of Eddie Murray. Looks like Eddie Murray will just go high and try to stay out of the way here, but even just that little bit of slowdown was enough to, close that gap just a little bit, but
cost him a 10th.
Yeah, and that 10th and it's 6 laps, I don't think is gonna quite do it, but it's gonna be close as we come down to this finish.
Well, Adam, you looking forward to some helmet throwing here in a little bit when we get more and more cars on the track?
Wish I could say I was. I just don't. An All-Star Race. Does anybody throw helmets at an All-Star Race?
Probably not.
No, it's more for fun, but I'd love to. Maybe we'll see it. It could be a first.
Well, these guys are used to Talladega, Daytona, Michigan, the big old tracks, and now they're down here. It's a little bit closer quarters here once we get everybody on the track.
Well, and maybe that's a good place to take somebody out they've had their eye on all year. So, yeah, maybe.
Well, as that gap continues to close up at the front, yeah, man, Bradley Clay in that 31 has been doing a pretty good job on trying to close that gap on Paul Durkee. He's been doing it here a little bit, getting up close to that bumper and then maybe losing a little bit of ground here, as we now got 3 laps remaining, and this heat will be coming to a close in just a matter of moments.
Brad's been pretty solid, but as Albert Anderson said, the 20 is on a rail. Also the winner of the last race.
2 laps remaining now. That pink car of Winker all in that mirror of Lawson. Lawson's probably feeling the pressure now of that. As Derek Welch crashes, and we're going to have a caution here.
Green-white checker
that
as well.
changes everything. Oh, man. That huge runaway that the 20 had is gone now.
That one just, he was looser than a goose, and he had the lap traffic of Eddie Murray right behind him, which is why iRacing threw that caution there. But you can just watch. He was loose coming out of 1 and 2, saves it, tries to get back on the gas, and it just kept staying looser and looser until he eventually just had to lock it down and ended up going out to that outside wall.
Adam, we talked a little bit about that earlier. Once you get to that certain point where, counter steering is not going to help you, even if it snaps around, you see what happens there. Welch got in that outside wall.
Yeah, that's just part of the deal here at the short track. It's heat racing. They're going to get to race in the main regardless, so maybe they learned something here.
So as predicted, everybody's going to stay out here that can stay out without damage and run this last couple of laps. 3 attempts at a green-white checker, even in heat racing, huh? Didn't know they did that.
I guess so, even in heat racing. So this is going to be a exciting finish here to heat number 2, something we didn't think we'd see, but hey, this is All-Star Week, baby, and we get to watch some great racing from some of these guys. Everyone able to, like Eddie Murray, get his lap back, and not coming down into the pits, however, but, he's going to be able to get back up there and try to fight for, who knows, a podium finish or something. I mean, Paul Durkee was looking very strong all this race so far. He's going to have that Bradley Clay 31 machine on his outside, so look for him to maybe make some late moves here, try to squeeze his way up through the front. But I mean, Justin Lawson, from the get-go on the start here for Heat 2, he was out there way out in front. He got a really, really good jump. The question is, will Kevin Winker be able to hang on to that jump this time?
Yeah, that Maxwell House Chevrolet had something for everybody on that restart. He just took off, ran off, and left them. I think he was the one last week we were talking to about maybe starting in a little bit higher gear. Y'all remember that conversation? I believe that was Lawson we were talking to. Could be wrong. I don't.
Yeah, I believe so. He liked to, I think, starting in 3, made it a little smoother, didn't kick him around like they.
We never found out if that was misinformation, though, did we?
No, but I like to go ahead and put it out there.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe somebody else will use it.
Well, here we go, getting a great start there. Green-white checker finish here for heat number 2. That 20 of Lawson able to squeeze out in front, but not as big of a gap as he had last time, as Kevin Winker battles with the 6 of Paul Durkee, trying to get out there and chase down that 20. But we're going to be coming across the line. Contact here between the 6 and the 42, and they're going to be spinning across the line, but the leader took that white flag. So Justin Lawson is going to be able to drive this one away. He's well clear, everybody, as here comes Derek Welsh now trying to overtake that 42 of Kevin Winker, as there was that little bit of contact there. And so Justin Lawson wins heat number 2. Kevin Winker in second and Derek Welch in third.
The great thing is we get to see 4 races to the checker flag tonight, and that one definitely didn't disappoint either.
No, it did not. So here we are now with heat number 3. I believe this is our final heat of heat racing. So we got Rodney Griffin up at the front in that 97 with the 110 of Richard Michelob Gray. He's going to be starting there in second. Andrew Hansley in that 24 is going to be starting here in third, with Zach Staten starting in fourth. Cale Turbeville, he's going to be one to watch here in this heat. He's going to be starting here in fifth, with Brandon Coleman starting in sixth.
So Joshua Moore saying, let's go Team America on YouTube. Justin saying, 42, let's go. And Numb Thumbs Gaming Community saying, boo, number 1. I guess they didn't like how Eric Welch finished, but they get to pull for another one of their teammates out here tonight in the 110 of Richard Gray, starting first row on the outside line.
Yeah, and these guys give each other a hard time if they don't perform. I mean, it's like they're
Yeah,
fighting
they do.
each other. Yeah, what's Michelob doing up there so high up in this one? We'll see how he does it. He's
Doesn't
more
he
of
know
a.
they're inverting later? Not
Well,
right
I
now.
don't think he knows what he's doing. Doesn't he normally do the super speedway? He's like super speedway master. I'm not sure how he is here. I mean, I wouldn't say super speedway master. Sorry, he just likes to run those.
Yeah, I noticed something about the Team America paints tonight. They all look like a kid drew it with a crayon. You notice that?
Yeah, there may be a story behind that.
I bet there is. I bet we'll catch it later.
Oh, I'm absolutely sure of that, as the pace truck makes that dive coming down into pit lane. Rodney Griffin and Richard Michelob Gray up here at the front. Away we go. Heat number 3 now underway. And we got ourselves some great racing here. Heat number 2 out in front, that 97. But, man, we had a cluster of trucks back here, almost 3 wide as we went through turns 3 and 4. Oh, no, there goes the 24. Great save there from Andrew Hansley, able to save that one from absolute catastrophe. right in front of everybody as the 110 of Richard Michelob Gray goes down through the grass now, too. Getting a little too hard on that throttle coming out of that corner.
Nice save, Richard. Yeah, Derek Welch said he was having major wheel problems last race, and Numb Thumbs Gaming community still said you're fired, so no sympathy.
No, none whatsoever as Rodney Griffin continues to lead here as Zach Staten sets fastest lap of the race. I think now that he's got some clean track in front of him, he's going to try to make a charge up here towards that 97 with the 64 and the 54 sitting right there behind him as well.
Zach's cooking some tires out there, getting ready to catch that 97.
As the 54 of Coleman might have went in there just a little too hot, able to run to the outside of the 64 of Turbeville, running that chrome Klondike machine there in front of him.
That's a sharp truck there.
Yes, it is able to avoid a little fender bender going down through turns 1 and 2 there, but a lot of work to be done here as Cale continues to try to work on that back bumper of Zach Staten.
English, you just like the ice cream.
It's true.
I mean, look at the truck. It is a nice looking truck, but I know what drew you
It looks
to
like
it.
it looks like a Klondike package. I mean, it's square.
Yeah.
The truck is square. It's
Yeah, you're getting hungry, aren't you?
yeah. I'm telling you, man.
Another good looking truck, Andrew Hensley, just kind of hanging back. If some kind of disaster happens, he'll be there to pounce at some point. But he's sitting there in 5th in a good wrench truck.
That he will, as Rodney Griffin maintaining that right around half-second lead here from both Zach and Cale, as we've now under 20 laps to go in heat number 3. Going to be coming across the line. It'll be 17 to go, which we've seen, Kevin Winker able to close up a whole lot of ground and not a lot of laps. So definitely look at these guys to maybe make a late charge here as Brandon Coleman slowly kind of fading off of the pace here as the 64 looking to the inside of the 88. Here we go. Got some racing action here for second. And this is what Rodney Griffin wants to see, is these guys go side by side and racing it out.
Oh, 100%. If they're fighting each other, they're not going to catch you.
Oh, as the 88, little loose going into the corner, little loose coming out of it, taking a ride down through the grass. He's going to be mowing the lawn there for just a little bit. Light tap to that inside wall, but all of that, it checked up the field, and Rodney Griffin able to drive out in front. Not too much of an issue there for Rodney. Now got a second lead over Cale, but we know Cale, he's one of those sneaky good guys here at these short tracks. Definitely a big time dirt race driver, and if he starts getting into that slidey slide mode, you can be certain he's going to be making up some ground.
You can get up there and steal one for sure. Kevin Winker saying, "Let's go, Zach, Team America." I almost said it right before Zach spun out, so you can't blame it on me. It wasn't the curse of the broadcaster this time, but still pressing on. Anything could happen, as we saw in the last heat. Green-white checker.
That is also correct. We might see another one of those, but field a little strung out now. Still got some races going on here, like Cale trying to chase down Rodney. He's done a pretty good job of it so far. Already closed in that gap pretty well, about half second now. Richard Michelob Gray is having a little battle here with the 24 of Andrew Hensley. Looking to the inside of him right now. They're going to be side by side going down this back straightaway.
So that's an interesting fight there, as Michelob looks like gets the best of him for the moment.
And Hensley with that throwback scheme that he teased us with last week.
It also looks like
doing it for Dale.
Hensley definitely fighting with that truck. You can kind of see him get squirrely and save it, squirrely and save it. So he's still just trying to find the rhythm out here as here comes that 64 up here at the front, closing that gap big time now. He's all over that back bumper of the 97 of Rodney Griffin.
Yeah, that cat Cale can drive, son.
Looks like a 2-horse race at this point right now. For this little heat.
Just under 10 laps to go here. We got Cale chasing down Rodney. We got Brandon trying to hold off Richard Michelob Gray, but he's got a pretty big gap for that. You got Zach Staten. He was able to overtake Andrew Hansley back there. So Zach trying to make a comeback, try to claw his way up through this field just a little bit more. And so we're going to have an interesting finish here, no matter what, for heat number 3.
And Brandon Coleman's one of those guys, he can drive the hell out of one of these trucks. We've seen it. But right now, he's got a big enough gap in front of him, 3 seconds to second place, that he really does need a yellow to happen if he's got any chance of making an upset victory here.
It does. As that 97 of Rodney Griffin, man, he's really sticking to that bottom line going through some of these corners. He's about a half a lane lower than what Cale is running. It looks like Cale, I don't know, you can't really call it diamonding, but he's definitely taking kind of like a late apex around here.
Yeah, I think he's what you'd be calling getting in his groove. He kind of likes that. It's not a perfect diamond, like he said, but it's working for him every corner. It's he could be gaining on him a little bit more here. The truck in front of him hit the wall.
Yeah, he has been closing in, right around a couple hundredths a lap, but we're going to be coming across the line here. We got 3 laps remaining. Time to see what Cale has left in those tires, left in those tanks, as he starts to get all slidey, loosey-goosey going through turns 1 and 2, going down this backstretch, and now into turns 3 and 4, trying to figure out a way to get around this 97. He's looking to the outside line, maybe trying to put a little pressure there, maybe make that 97 and make a mistake. And as they almost go side by side, a little bit of a run. He is there on that outside corner with that 97. So we're side by side here for the lead with 2 laps remaining as the 97 makes the mistake that he did not want to do. And Cale Turbeville driving it like a dream there up on that high line, able to overtake Rodney Griffin as they came across the line to get that white flag. So what would you do for a Klondike bar is try to force that other guy to make a mistake, and that is exactly what Cale did to pick up the win here in heat number 3. Brandon Coleman able to pull out a 3rd place finish with Rodney Griffin hanging on for that 2nd.
Looked like Cale pulled just enough air off the spoiler off the right rear of that 97 machine that I think that may have made the difference. He just stuck that nose right down there close to that spoiler, and that's when we started to see the tail of the 97 go around.
Well, I think the 97 was starting to look in his rear view and driving with his rear view. But either way, heck of a race.
That indeed is. Looks like we got ourselves a little bit of a warm-up session to kind of get things all back and going. Just kind of looking at the time here. I believe everything is going to, all 100 laps are going to be held here after this with the entire field inverted. And so while we're here waiting for that, let's get an interview in. Who do you boys want to pull up?
Oh, man. I haven't got my mandatory federal 15-minute break yet, so let me look.
Y'all want to pull up Cale and see if he wants to talk about that?
Let's talk about his paint job, too.
Let's talk about that pass as well.
Absolutely would love to if I can.
I'm looking. I can't find him either.
I cannot find him.
All right, next man up.
Man up.
We'll pull.
How about Lawson?
Yeah, pull Lawson. No.
I'm going to bring him on up, guys, if you're ready to talk to him.
Yeah, go for it.
Down here. There he is.
There he is. Justin Lawson in that 20 truck. Saw you have a great race here last week, and now trying to put in some little warm-ups here before the main event. How you feeling going into this final All-Star race, kind of going through?
A little nervous, a little excited. Just can't wait to get this thing going.
Well, Well, talk about that pass right there. Well, talk about your restarts, because that was the story of your heat, man. As soon as that pace car ducked off, man, you were off like a shot. Did you
Yeah.
have a strategy for the restarts?
Yeah, a little bit. I just try to run a little bit wide because as the bottom car, I try to run middle of the track. Still give the high guy a lane, but it straightens out the exit of that corner. And the less wheel you got in it, the more forward momentum you can carry. But the track is colder tonight, so I'm back off of my third gear starts and just trying to modulate second gear and keep the wheel spin under control. And it takes off pretty good.
Well, what do you think? The field's going to be inverted, so you're going to have to battle a little bit here.
Oh yeah.
So does that change your strategy at all? Are you going to be more aggressive, or are you going to kind of sit back and let the race come to you?
I think you have to drive efficiently. You have to be aggressive to get around people because passing is really tough here. You can't just ride beside them lap after lap, or you'll end up letting the leaders get away from you. So you got to be aggressive, but you cannot burn up the right rear, and that's going to be important.
Well, man, we definitely look forward to seeing what kind of racing action we get going on, and look forward to maybe seeing you make that charge up through that field. And hey, man, 100 laps, that's going to be a long, long way to go. And best of luck here as we're going to closing up warm-up, and we'll let you go back and have some fun racing.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, a little bit of insight there.
What about our race sponsor, Eddie Murray? Check him out on Trading Paints by Special Ed. We have a link to his Trading Paints website in the promo post previewing today's All-Star Race. So if you want a direct line to him, go check out that post on Facebook. Click on that link, and you'll be connected with him and send him a message.
Yeah, you can never get enough of some of these cool paints that Special Ed does. So that's definitely something you ought to do. We got about, it looks like 30 seconds or so before they're going to start gridding up, and I got to take my mandatory federal break. You guys know I'm allotted the amount of time. I'll be back in a minute here just to join y'all.
We'll be here.
Yes, indeed. As like we said, they're just getting warmed up because if you were in that first heat, you've been sitting around, for a little while. It's like those track runners and like the Olympics and all that stuff. You gotta do a little jogging, try to get warmed up, get ready for your race, and then you go and do your race, and now you're sitting around again for who knows how long. And
well, yeah, and guys like Derek Welch, they're having technical problems. He's using that time to try to troubleshoot his issues, and he's trying to restart his computer and do a couple other different things to try to see if he can get that fixed. But it looks like we're gridding up if you want to take the first half there, partner.
That I can. As we start to grid up here, we got that 24 of Andrew Hansley. He's going to be gridding up here on that front row with the 33 of Eddie Murray right beside him. Got the 12 of Austin Johnson. They're going to start here in third with the 88, Zach Staten in fourth. The 6 of Paul Durkee will be starting here fifth with the 25, Mark Collins in sixth. Richard Michelow Gray in that 110 will be here in seventh with Bradley Clay, that 31 in eighth. Gregory Turner will be starting in ninth with his 69 machine. And I know I'll go one over here, but the rounding out starting top 10 is that 54 of Brandon Coleman.
Derek Welch in the one truck will be starting in 11th. Hopefully he's got his PC issues sorted out as the number 4 of Eric Stoy. Be starting to his outside in position 12. The 97 of Rodney Griffin, I should say, almost had a win that last heat. He'll be starting in 13th. 42 of Kevin Winker will be starting in 14th. 15 of Cody Staten, his teammate, will be starting in 15th. Cale Turberville and that awesome Klondike truck starting in 16th place. Justin Lawson and Stephen Naylor will round out your field.
All right, it's going to be any different than the heat races? Are we going to get more action?
Oh, yeah. I think so.
Well, rather than 6, we're timesing that by 3. 18 trucks are going to be driving around here all at the same time. Lights on that pace truck have turned off, so we're going to be going to green flag racing here in pretty much one lap. And I mean, we saw it a bunch, and especially now with even less room with all these trucks out there, that input control is what's going to kind of make or break a lot of these drivers here tonight. I mean, just the tiniest little bits of mistakes will definitely cost them.
Yeah, that's the nature of this track for sure. And if you get time, make sure you go check out HCKBeaglesRacingLeague.com for league information and driver bios. It's a pretty cool website.
Yeah, here comes that pace truck. Here comes the 24 and the 33, taken to the green flag main event racing here at North Wilkesboro. Man, that 24 got off to a great start. That 33 struggling as we got the 6 going around right here in the middle of the field. He's able to go down through into the grass, save it, and gather it all back up together. So everybody is A-OK, but we're still green flag racing. Oh no, it's the 110 of Richard Michelob Gray almost going down into pit road, but he's able to get a handle on it.
Yellow's out because of that one, I think.
Well, there was a couple incidents there. It looked like Clay ran into the number 6, turn 2,
Yep.
and then whatever happened with Michelob Gray. Hey, got racy quick. Fresh tires, probably not a good idea.
Carol Hansley said on Facebook, I love listening to you guys. Well, we sure love you listening. We wouldn't be doing this if we didn't have folks out there that really followed this simulation racing, which we really enjoy watching. Thanks to all y'all for watching tonight.
So we watched the onboard roof cam there, the 69 of Gregory Turner. Saw that 110 sliding down below him, and he's trying to move up, but the 42 of Kevin Winker was right there, right outside that window of his.
That could have been a lot worse for those two trucks, the 42 and the 69.
And that they could, and we know the 42 trying to shuffle his way up through the field just like Justin Lawson is. That's a beautiful thing here about this inverted field. You're giving a lot of people the chance who don't normally run up at the front. This is your chance now. If you can just kind of keep it together, those guys that need to come up through this field, they got a lot of work and a lot of passing to do, and this is a really good chance to, who knows, punch that all-star ticket win.
Yeah, you got to make them earn it. Those guys that are in the back, and when they invert this stuff, that's makes it more fun. It's an all-star race. It's for fun anyway, but I think it's going to make for some stuff we're not normally used to seeing. Just a little bit different style of racing.
Well, next Tuesday night is March 1st, because if you remember, we're in a short month here of February, so March 1st is already coming up next Tuesday, and we'll return to the super speedways as iRacing Super Speedway will be our setting. Numb Thumbs Gaming is sponsoring next week's race. It's going to be 70 laps at iRacing Super Speedway. Talk about night and day compared to this week.
Yeah, well, here we go. Green flag racing once again. Not as good of a restart there for the 24. Able to still hang out there in front. But that 33 is having a bunch of issues as we got a lot of trucks trying to get around him. The 88 does. Same thing with the 12 and the 25 as we're 3 wide here with the 4 of Eric Stoy. We got the 64 of Cale Turbeville right there. You got the 31 of Bradley Clay right there as we got a big car pile up. Oh, there we go. That's a big one.
Still green.
Still green off of that one.
Everybody got below the race and surface. Oh man, before more cars came up behind him, so we'll stay green.
All right, still green flag racing here. We got a whole bunch of
that amazes me.
that it does, as Andrew Hansley getting passed by the 12 of Austin Johnson here for second.
There's our yellow.
Zach Staten out in front, so he was able to get around Eddie Murray. I wonder what happened to
The caution came out. I think they threw the caution on their own
They
because
manually threw it.
iRacing did not throw a caution. There was a truck upside down and all kinds of mayhem on what you deem a pretty big one. It was a big one, Brown, and so they went ahead and threw the caution, I guess, to let everybody get lined back up.
I think that's one thing iRacing needs to work on a little bit on the automatic cautions. If there's a truck upside down somewhere out there, even if it's on the edge of the racing surface, they probably should throw it. If it's going to be real to life simulator, I mean, the guy could have just towed, but he's going to have to tow anyway. I don't know. You can look at it a couple different ways.
Yeah, I want to see iRacing with real tow trucks. That'd be cool. Like you can see them come out and grab your car and yeah, work on that iRacing. That's something a project for you. Like you don't have enough going on.
The big 330-pound NASCAR officials standing there watching them change tires.
Yeah, and then 5 other guys stand around. One of them has a small, like a little fire suppressant device, and everybody else is just kind of looking at each other with helmets on.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like a work crew in North Carolina for the roads.
Looks like Brandon Coleman getting a lap back there in the 54 truck.
I think he was given the UL because he caused that caution and he took ownership of it.
So they'll wave him around. He'll get a lap back, but he will start at the back of the field. It's like Little Rim or Gregory Turner is going to be the only truck 1 lap down right at the moment.
as
This heat racing is fun, man.
Oh, it is for certain. As looks like we're going to be going back to green flag racing here in just a moment. As that lights on the pace truck are off, coming down into pit road. Good restart there for the 88 of Staten, all the way out in front, able to get clear of the 12 of Johnson and Hansley very, very quickly here. So they're going to still be too wide here as they come across through this back straightaway and down into turns 3 and 4. Ooh, that 4 of Eric Stoy having a little bit of an issue there, able to get it back under control. The same thing with the 12, but here comes that 42 of Kevin Winker all the way up, almost from the very tail end of this field, but he's now sitting up there in third. We know he can definitely race around some of these guys, as here comes that 15 of Cody Staten, almost took it 3 wide there as they came out of 4.
Eddie Murray, not quite as fast as a couple of trucks around him.
Yeah,
He's got a little door banging going on and bumper banging.
he looks uncomfortable up there, to say the least.
But carrying the race sponsored logo, and he's even got the All-Star Race flyer on his hood. So cool to see that 33 to Eddie Murray out there.
It's the 42 of Winker, tries to pass underneath the 12 of Austin Johnson, which he does. And here comes the 4 of Eric Stoy trying to do the same thing. This is the battle for top 3, and Eric Stoy now moves himself up into that top 3 as Zach Staten able to put in the fastest lap of this race so far. It's now got Kevin Winker trying to maybe chase him down. Little Team America teammate action going on there as the 4 of Eric Stoy looks to the inside of the 42.
Yeah, most of your teams were split up into the heats, but all back together now on the track, so they can feel free to cooperate. A little bit 3 wide action here. 20 to 97 and the 24. 24 getting into the wall just a touch. Numb Thumbs
Oh, same thing with the 24. Hard contact into that outside wall, but keeps it from spinning and gets it back under control.
Andrew's hands are pretty damn busy on that steering wheel right now. Numb Thumbs Gaming says they're looking forward to next week's race at ISS. Anything can happen at that place. It's just insane.
And that 4 of Eric Stoy was able to get around Kevin Winker, so Eric Stoy now all the way up into second, as we had a little bit of contact there between
24.
Austin Johnson and Cale Turbeville.
54 is around. Coleman.
Oh,
There's poor guy hit
Rimmer.
again.
69 involved in that too. Smoking real bad too.
Oh, man, just side-by-side contact there with the 31, goes across the racing surface there. 69, a little rimmer, really nowhere to go, unfortunately. And
Yeah, I don't know if he used the old brakes on that one.
Well, it looked like he would
hot.
clear the 54, and the 54 kind of rolled up the track. And now the 69 spraying for mosquitoes until he gets back to the pit.
He has a faster pit. I see what he was trying to do. He's trying to get around, and there was.
oh yeah, he was aiming to get around the outside, but the 54 started to slide back up the track just a little bit.
Yeah, and he wasn't really going that fast. It's just you're gonna tear these cars up going 60 miles an hour for sure. But we have 2 fast repairs here, so get that thing fixed, get back out on the track.
And that concrete wall does not give a single inch. When he went up there and bounced off of Coleman and bounced off that wall.
They did not include the safer barrier here at
Yeah.
North Wilkesboro Speedway.
They did not. As look who's up front here once again. It's going to be the 97 of Rodney Griffin, not coming down into pit lane. Same thing with, it looks like Bradley Clay came down early. Same thing with Richard Michelob Gray. They were both involved in an earlier incident, but Rodney Griffin looking to maybe make up for that one little mistake he had at the end of the last heat.
How many stops you guys think we're going to have? I mean, at least probably, I don't know. I would say we're going to have 3 stops.
Well, it just depends. I mean, are you talking caution stops or like necessary stops? Or?
Yeah, that has a lot to do with it. I mean, that's a valid point. I mean, how often do you see a North Wilkesboro race go more than 20 laps green?
Well, you're definitely going to need we're at lap 20, 4 or 5 by the time we go green?
Yep.
You're going to need at least one more stop for everything. So if you split this in half.
Then uncheck your fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I'm not sure if that's. We're going to get to that point, It's a slippery little devil out here at North Wilkesboro.
So they are running 60% fuel.
So I think fuel will come into play, maybe. It's kind of depends on the amount of cautions we have and anything like that. As the lights on the pace truck are off, we're going to be going back to green flag here in just a second.
I love the gray area there because that leaves room for some strategy.
Yeah, here we go once again. Green flag here in the main event of this All-Star race. The 97, not the best of restarts there. The 31 of Bradley Clay able to get to the outside of him and make that pass. So the 31 of Bradley Clay out in front. Oh no! As we got a truck. Oh, this is also going to be the 42 of Kevin Winker, and that's going to cause a big old parking lot there. He's still going up into the wall just due to the amount of trucks that are all around him there.
He knows what a pinball feels like after bouncing off several of them trucks, including the 64 Klondike machine and killed Turboville.
Ooh, no.
You ruined your ice cream truck?
I'm telling you. Well, that wrapper's gonna get thrown away anyway. What's inside that counts.
Well,
you don't want that chocolate shell to get all split up before you open it, though.
Right. Well, you got 2 more cracks at it. It can polish that thing up.
Ooh.
Get you a nice new one.
I think the 42 had a little help from that 64 to go around.
Oh, really?
Little bit of a rear end tap. I don't think at this point it was on purpose, but just a little difference in
well, it didn't help
breaking points or anything, but it certainly, it helped him go around. That's for sure.
Helped him get a whole bunch of front end damage. Turning the 42.
Yeah, so there you go. 3 of our, or at least 2 out of the 3 of the people we were looking at maybe making a great run here up towards the front. Both the 42 and that 64 all getting involved, having to come down pit lane, and they're shuffling their way backwards through this field as the 31 of Bradley Clay is now going to be commanding this restart with the 97 on his outside.
Yeah, and I got some bad news for you, Mr. English.
Yes, sir.
64 of Kale Turboville, he decided not to do fast repair. So
Oh,
the wrapper
no!
on your ice cream is still crinkled,
Oh,
and the chocolate is ruined.
the and the ice cream's leaking out.
It's probably
Well-
melting because he's going to be overheating here. I don't know. Maybe he thinks wants to save those fast repairs, which is probably smart if he can at least stay somewhat near the field here.
I mean, we're not a third over yet in this feature. And now look who you got up front, as Mr. Brown mentioned, Bradley Clay, who had a pretty solid race in his own right earlier. And then Rodney Griffin, who finished second in his heat. And Zach Staten, who got involved in a wreck in his heat, 1, 2, 3. So, might see some different names sneaking their way up in here late in this feature. I
You
love
might,
this heat
and I-
racing stuff, man. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Well, how they've inverted it, yeah, I think it's pretty cool. But Bradley Clay, I've seen, has been super aggressive. I've seen him hit the rear end of a couple of trucks, working his way up there. So he's up 7 spots. So
Well, our buddy Albert Anderson said that, man, green flag pit stops would be really, really insane here because of the really, really tight pit entry. That's something we haven't discussed tonight, although it's not looking like we're going to see a whole lot of green flag stops.
Yeah, probably not as that pace truck comes down into pit lane. And here we go, green flag race once again. That 31 out to a great restart here with that 97 trying to hold off on that outside line, the 88. But
another
Two numb
turnaround.
thumbs guys just went around the 1 and the 110, separate incidents. Same turn. Coming out of 2.
now let's watch the 110 here. Oh, little tap there from the 33 of Eddie Murray as the 110 was trying to slow up for that 1 of Gregory Turner who went around. Let's see if Gregory Turner might have had some help there. And
That was Derek Welch.
oh, yeah, he was big checkup right in front of him with the 5, and he just slammed on those brakes. And like we said, you gotta be careful if you just a little too much brake pressure there, and whoopsie daisy it goes.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
fighting some wheel problems, so go ahead.
Looks like, no, I'm just going to say the 33 or special eds, special paints by Ed truck. He kind of got into Richard Gray there a little bit. But, you
Well,
know,
we know he knows how to paint a truck, so he'll get that.
yeah,
get the
free
truck.
paint job for Richard Gray maybe. But I think Richard Gray's happy with his Michelob paint scheme. But
Yeah.
that's part of racing, man. Everybody gets tight. Real racy off of restarts. Once they settle in, that's where we see good racing. It's the restarts and stuff like that where we're starting to have issues.
As someone who did pretty well in heat number 1, looking for him to make a run here. He's back nose to tail right now with that 25 of Mark Collins, who they had a great battle, and that's the 5 of Stephen Naylor driving that Kellogg's truck. He's right now up into 7th, up 11 from where he started in this final main event here. Definitely looking forward to seeing him maybe try to drive up through this field, but he's still got quite a few trucks to go.
Love that old Texas Terry Labonte throwback paint on the 5. Yeah, he's got some work to do. It's not going to be easy getting up through these top few trucks, but he's definitely hunting for a top 5. He's wanting to pick him one up for sure.
I love that paint scheme, those Labonte boys and from Corpus. Yeah. They had some cool paint schemes.
That they did as we continue to pace here under caution, just waiting to go back to green flag racing here as the lights on that pace car turn off. So we're going to get things all stacked back up here. Now let me ask you this, English. I think we're in due time for a good long green flag run here. I think these guys just need to find that rhythm. You know, you can race too wide here without too much of a problem, but I think it's getting those laps in and getting up to speed and finding that rhythm. And we can definitely see a 25, 30, maybe even a 40 lap green flag run here.
Well, here they go. They're going back green, but yeah, we'll see.
Yes, that green flag comes out. Not a good restart there for the 31. I wonder if he didn't start in the gear that he wanted to, or started very cautiously trying not to spin the tires on that, as the 88 of Zach Staten's able to still stay side by side with him. As here comes that 4 of Eric Stoy. Looked very racy in the heats and looked racy here, as we got a big pileup coming out of turn number 4.
The 5 and the 6 both wrecked.
I think your comment of English of "we'll see." I think that was the end all.
Well,
be
I didn't
all.
have time. I didn't have time to answer because we're going green. But I think
I knew where you were on that one. Just
and the
ahead.
reason we saw the 31 have such a slow restart, he's working on tires that are twice as old as everybody else's. He hadn't taken tires since lap 9.
Oh, the 54 involved in that. Same thing with the 5. Man, I tell you, we got to stop talking about some of these guys that we're expecting to do well here. As the 5 goes around, what happened there was the 5 drifted up the track just a little bit, just enough to get to that back quarter panel of the 6, and that just caused a whole chain reaction of mess.
To be honest with you, Adam, I had already forgotten what the question was by the time I saw the pace truck ducking off because I was trying to shut my mouth.
Just was. I think Brown was hoping for a nice long 40 lap stretch here, and you're like,
Oh,
well,
yeah,
we'll
yeah,
see.
the green flag.
We'll see.
Yeah,
And we didn't see it.
I got you.
These guys are running super speedways all the time. Somebody wants the money really bad, and then they invert the field, so there's a lot of weird surprises here.
I'm looking at their Facebook page right now. Go to www.hckbeaglesracingleague.com. That's all one word all together. And you can see their standings, race results, driver info. You can connect with them on Facebook. I mean, they got the links all there. You can see, read about the admins and sponsors. There's few leagues that have as many sponsors and as many quality sponsors as HCK does. So go to HCKBeaglesRacingLeague.com and go to the sponsors page, and please try to patronize some of these places because they're really putting their name out there, trying to get some little bit of extra business on this virtual platform. So check it out, guys.
And then their website is really cool. And I think they're touching it up every week. You got driver bios, all that stuff, and where they're from. I like to learn a little bit about these guys, and that's a perfect place to do it. We make fun of some of these drivers, and just for fun. And but we learn a lot about them on that website. We know the number 1 tender, Richard Michelob Gray, a little bit more, so we give them a hard time as they're going back to green now.
Here we go, green flag racing once again. Another solid restart there for the 88, but the 31 able to just hang on out there in front. So now here comes the 4 of Eric Stoy trying to battle with that 88. Eric Stoy has been very racy all day long. And also, don't look now, here comes that 20 of Justin Lawson. He has been very good coming here to North Wilkesboro the last couple of weeks, and look for him to maybe make a move here, but he's definitely stuck behind that 4 in the 88. As here comes that 42 of Kevin Winker as well. He's battling with the 97 right now, with the 25 of Mark Collins right in front of him.
I believe the 12 of Austin Johnson may have passed on the... Oh, we got truck around. It's the 25. Stacking up behind him.
Oh, now we're getting angry out there. Number 6 asked if anybody had brakes out there. I think we're talking.
And I can tell you exactly the cause of that one. The 42 had a little punterino action going on with him. to him, not from him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the and he ended up drifting out wide and up into the 25. It was actually the 97 of Rodney Griffin getting into the back of the 42 just enough to push him up half a lane and into that 25, who then proceeds to block the racing surface and pile up it goes.
Yeah, looking at that restart, I was going to mention something about Austin Johnson. It looked like he passed somebody before the start-finish line, but it looked like he gave that position back after they had taken the green flag. I don't know if he was just trying to avoid something there, and they cleared his flag, and he gave the position back to the 54 Coleman.
Man, I hear some. I'm listening to the race chatter. I'm sorry. And I think Numb Thumbs versus Team America. Team America might be the issue. The next few races.
Well, I tell you what, each of them got a few cars out there tonight, or trucks, I should say. They found each other in close proximity a few times.
And that they have is, we take a look here at the number 1 of Derek Welsh. He's got a teammate there, the 110 right behind him. Trying to look through here to see who else.
The 25 as well as a teammate there.
Oh, yeah, that 25 of Mark Collins. Looking, he's been looking fairly well here. I know,
Yeah.
ran into some issues in the heat, but he's been racing up front a good chunk of today so far.
Collins has been solid. He's got loose a couple of times and spun it around, but look at that truck. I mean, he's in good shape. He's probably got at least a fast repair left.
But I mean, not only that, but then talking about Team America, you got Zach Staten up there at the front. You also got Kevin Winker up there in 4th. You got Cody Staten in 6th. I mean, so you got Team America littered all around, almost all up in this top 5. And then you get people like Justin Lawson of East Coast up there all the way at the front. Gonna be starting here in 3rd. And then you got Eric Stoy as well.
East Coast also, yep. I love the team concept. This is one of those leagues that does it pretty well.
Yeah, that's where the fights begin. Team on team, like the outsiders.
That's where they're settled.
Somebody gonna have some chains and brass knuckles by the end of this thing.
Outsiders, really.
As we go back to green flag racing, great restart there for Zach Staten out there all in front by himself. That's going to allow some battles here to happen behind him as 4 of Eric Stoy able to follow him right on through. He's got some space to try to close in on that 88. Eric Stoy using that bottom line, trying to use that speed that he finds down there to close up.
110's wrecking. Him and the 69 are still getting together on the outside wall.
And that's going to bring out that yellow flag.
Put it in reverse, Richard.
We got ourselves
Back it up, Richard.
got ourselves one of those hallway situations like you go, no, you go, no, you go. I'm going this way. I'm going that way.
That guy in the wheelchair getting shot at with fireworks, remember? Put it in reverse, Terry. Thinking the same thing for Richard right there, baby. Back it on down.
Ooh, and the 33 of Eddie Murray had an issue behind him as well. Let's go back and really see what caused this whole kerfuffle here. Is the 110. Oh, might have started off with a little bit of netcode, and it turned into not being netcode.
I don't know much netcode out on this little tiny track. Now it's going to turn into anger code.
Well, so the 33 and the 69 and the 110 got very close as the 69 was coming down the track out of the corner. The 110 was drifting up the track out of the corner. There's still, half a foot of space there, and it acted like there was contact, and then there was actual contact.
So I didn't think it was netcode until you showed it from that view right there, that chase view or chopper view. You could see it there. Richard tried to stay low and give the 69 room, and Netcode just kind of said, not far enough. You guys reckon?
Yeah, so let's take a look here from the roof cam of our good friend Ed Murray as he can just see nothing but smoke. Oh, he got drilled from behind there. Let's go back and see what happened there. As he sees the wreck and checks up. Oh, and the 5 did not check up. He absolutely clobbers that back bumper at the
Even at a
33.
sharp track, it's hard to see, man. It's hard to see what's going on. The truck in front of the truck in front of you.
But what about the truck in front of that other truck that's in front of the other truck?
That's too many. You got me on there.
Oh, they're arguing on the radio about this and that.
And that goes with what Albert Anderson just said on Facebook. He said there may be some laying on the hands after this race.
Let's throw helmets, guys.
There could
I
be some
mean,
people
I wouldn't have
throwing
thought
hands.
in the
All-Star Race of all races.
yeah. I mean, God, I thought this was for fun. Yeah, you can't put a driver, a race car driver, anywhere without somebody getting angry. It
And you know
doesn't
what?
matter
These
if they're
guys.
pedaling around a bicycle track; they try to fight each other.
That's right. It could be RC cars. There's pride involved here.
We're men. I'm not going to lose, and if I'm about to lose, I'm going to hit you into the door. I don't know.
Spin you at turn 2 at Pocono.
Oh God! Don't bring up memories now.
Well, these
I
guys
almost
don't
forgot.
race at Pocono as the pace truck comes down into pit lane. Green flag racing here once again. The 88 of Zach Staten, great restart there. That's going to allow that 42 teammate of Kevin Winker try to squeeze up through that inside of the 4, but no, the 4 is able to clear and get some room, so they're going to be side by side here for the lead here once again with that 4 in the 88, but here comes that 20, so the 42 and the 20 are also side by side right behind these guys.
Ooh.
We got some racing action going on up here at the front.
A little bit of bumping and banging back here between the 12 and the 31, causing a little bit of a stack up. Doing a little rubbing out here, that's all. Short track.
And not only that, but there was a stack up here at the front as the 4 of Stoy able to steal that lead away from the 88. And the 1 of Derek Welch and that numb thumb getting involved here with the 20 and the 42. Oh man, the 1 of Derek Welch able to drive away from that one, however. So, and the 20 and the 42 not having a good main event here tonight as yellow flag comes out once again.
Hang on, I'm
Go
trying
ahead.
to find some fun stories of the day for y'all online. So if you can't capture me, I'm going to be doing my research.
Well,
That was
It looks
Netcode 2.
that was Netcode too, huh?
That was Netcode 2.
So who needs to email headquarters in Boston?
Hey,
And let 'em know.
Brown is closest to Boston. I think you ought to drive down there.
Yeah, like the Paul Revere. Go in there and let them know there's some issues with this North Wilkesboro.
That's exactly
Netcode.
like the Richard Gray.
Incident, yeah.
That's exactly like that incident.
Yeah, and I gotta apologize to the 1. I thought he was involved. He was not. He was kind of loose behind these guys. But the 42 coming up out of the corner, getting again close to the 20, hops a wheel like he's driving over the IndyCar wheel, and that just caused enough. And they go spinning down off into the grass. A little pirouette from both trucks and down into that fence. Ooh, hard contact for that 20 though.
The 42's whole back axle looked like it come off the ground.
Apparently, they let the turtles loose out there on North Wilkesboro here tonight.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like talking about the back axle. What about that car in the Cup race, Daytona, where the entire thing fell apart? The engine was rolling down the freeway and
Oh, you're
everything
talking
else.
about yeah. Whose car was
I
that?
thought it was is it Harrison Burton? Maybe not.
Well, I know
don't
the
know.
21 went upside down. The Wood Brothers car went upside down. But who was the one that got in the fence?
Oh, was that?
And
That
the
might have been
engine came
Xfinity.
out, everything.
Yeah, it was wild.
Oh man.
Almost killed Michael Jordan over there. Yeah, that was the Xfinity race.
Yeah, no kidding. He was standing by his
Yeah.
RV and had pieces of car flying over there towards him.
Very lucky that thing.
That's why they
turned
make
out the
you.
way it was.
They make everybody sign that waiver when they come in the gate.
Yeah, especially the guys that had had 5 or 6 tall boys before going in.
Well,
They
looks
were
like we're
bound to do something dumb.
That we are getting all stacked back up and ready to go back to green flag racing here. We're 2/3 of the way through this race. We're going to be going back live to green flag here on lap 67 out of 100. Eric Stoy out in front with Zach Staten on the outside. Great restart there for Stoy. Clear and clean away from the 88, who's also clean and clear of that 15 of Cody Staten. So Staten boys running up there together, and here comes Derek Welsh up on that outside line trying to get a run here on that 15, but they're still going to be side by side heading through turns 3 and 4. And it looks like the one able to pull away with that one is the 25 now of Mark Collins back here in 6. Has a little battle with the 6 of Paul Durkee, who almost comes down into that 25, but able to keep it off of him.
I love the restarts here. It's almost like your local dirt track where you start as soon as you come out of forward, you just go. That's kind of what we're seeing here tonight.
As side by side here for second is the 1 of Welch and the 88 of Zach Staten. Side by side they go into turns 3 and 4. The 1 of Welch on the inside, the 88 on the outside, and it looks like the 1 will be able to get that position away and try to now claw his way up here, up to the 4 of Stoy, as Paul Durkee continues to have a battle here and try to hold off some trucks like the 12 of Austin Johnson. And you also got Cale Turbeville there in the 64 trying to claw his way through this traffic here once again.
Yeah, the 64 was following the 6 past the 12, but he's looking at some damage. He's
what's
door banging.
97 of Rodney Griffin goes for a ride across the track, and that's going to bring out the yellow.
And the 110 at the same exact time, they both spun together. Separate incidents.
All right, so let's take a look at the 97 first. That was not netcode. There was there was contact there. It looked like a little bit of a issue there with, I think it wasn't the 54. Might have been the
Numb Thumbs Collins 25.
Oh, got a couple pit stops going on here. It's like the Staten boys. Followed by a couple of the trucks.
So you know
with
they're
Austin Johnson.
they're on the same game plan, so it'll be interesting to see.
Then let's take a look what happened to the
24
110 of Michelob Gray there. Ooh, little bump there maybe from the 54. Just light enough to send that 110 around, but not too much damage there until the 110 tried to pull forward to get his car turned around and hit the wall.
The 110 of Richard Gray's getting treated like a rented mule tonight.
I don't think I've ever wrecked. Of course, I've only been in a few races with Rich.
I don't know if I can say the same.
We know Richard for quite a while.
Yeah. Well,
With other leagues.
and I think he hexed me now. My racing's frozen. It's must be the weather. I don't know, but I'll jump back in here in a second, boys.
Well, we're coming across. Well, we come across the line up here, Alan. It's going to be 3/4 of the way done. We got a couple guys doing some final pit stops. We do have a couple of trucks. Eric Stoy, your leader right now, last pitted on lap 21. He's for sure going to need at least one more yellow flag to get gassed up, I think.
Yeah, maybe. You also got that 1 of Derek Welch behind him, pitted on lap 40, so that's a difference of 20 laps albeit a good chunk of those laps have been under caution.
True.
But still, those are a big difference in tires here. You got the 42 of Kevin Winker also up in this top 5, last pitted on lap 62, and he also took tires by the looks of it. So we got a whole bunch of people on different strategies going on through here. Some playing the fuel game, some playing the tires game, and some playing just to keep my truck as clean as possible game.
So I think this is going to be an opportunity for Winker and the Statons and Austin Johnson and Bradley Clay and a couple other trucks behind them. It's because they all have the newest tires. They got a lot of old tires in front of them here.
Yeah, that they do, but the pace truck comes off down into pit road here. The 4 of Eric Stoy starting this one off back under green flag race and able to get clear of everybody there and get right out in front of his teammate of the 1, Derek Welsh, all over that back bumper. You best believe maybe that 1's probably talking to him saying, hey man, if I'm a little bit quicker than you, just let me by and hold some of these guys up, because
I think the 4 is East Coast Racing, if I'm not
mistaken. You're right. As
but nonetheless,
the 64 of Cale Turbeville, however, also trying to chase.
Bradley Clay, the 5, Kellogg's Machine, and the 12, all involved in that. The 31's smoking pretty bad. Yellow's out.
Oh, the 12. Oh, ow. That was a big hit there.
Steven Naylor caught a pretty good shot on that, too.
Let's take a look. It looks like the 12 loose coming off of turn number 2. Ooh, yeah, and that caused everybody to scatter around here. I think the 20 of Justin Lawson took a ride down through the grass trying to avoid all of this. He could see it right happening in front of him. And that's exactly what he did. Ooh, great move there from the 20.
So the 64 is going to come down and get fresh tires. What do you guys do if you're the 4? Do you just continue to stay out there? I mean, your bed's made now, isn't it?
At this point,
down and get gas. I think he needs gas.
At this point, man, even if you're close to not making it, you got to stay out there. You got that spot. If you pit now, you're going all the way to the back. You're gonna be very tough to fight through this field, let alone if another caution comes out and you get caught up into it. The only spot that you know that you're safe right now is right where he is, and that's up there in the lead.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, risk it at this point. Just risk it on fuel. We're going to have some more cautions. You could save fuel here. I know y'all do the trick where you shut the truck down and toast it and turn it on and all that, professional stuff. He probably ought to be doing that, saving every little piece of fuel. But, yeah, there's no point now. You've laid in this bed. It's yours now. But he's in the driver's seat technically. If he could just keep going, I would just stay with the program. But be careful what's behind you.
Well, the answer to what's behind him is the 1 of Derek Welch, the 15 of Cody Staton, the 6 of Paul Durkee, the 42 of Kevin Winker, the 88 of Zach Staton, and the 20 of Justin Lawson. Don't know what happened there. Looked like Cale Turbeville might have came down there late, so Cale Turbeville now has to try to shuffle his way back up through this field. He was looking pretty good up there in that top 5, but as cloud cover starts to roll over North Wilkesboro here.
Yeah, that's our track temp had actually climbed all the way to 97 after the sun came out. So let's see if the clouds help cool it down a little bit as the 12 gets a lap back on the outside.
My truck to watch here, obviously, I'm no genius, but the Staten boys, both of them with pit stopping about 10, 11 laps ago, a little more freshened up. We'll see if they should be in good shape for this final section of the race.
one of Derek Welch has a ton of support online. Guys saying, go DW. Here we go.
Here we go as we go back to green flag race in the 4. Another solid start there, but also the same thing can be said for that one of Welch as he's able to hang on just to that outside quarter pedal of the 4. Now just finally completely losing that position, but he's still liking that outside line right now, trying to make his way up through and trying to pass that 4 as the 6 of Paul Durkee. Man, he's been trying to hold off that 15 of Cody Staten. Cody running that inside line. Oh, little bit of a door check there from the 6 to the 15, but able to keep it all together here as everybody getting all stacked up. Poor exit out of turn 4 there for the 1 of Derek Welch. He's going to lose some time and almost lose a position as, oh no, the 15 drifts up into him just a little bit there. So the 15 throwing some weight around out there, throwing a little body check here and there, able to get through and now take over second here as the 6 of Paul Durkee looks maybe to try to make a pass inside. No, he's going to jump in line and maybe get things all settled down. Here's the 20 of Justin Lawson making moves right here behind the 42 of Kevin Winker. He's to the inside of the 1 of Derek Welch here.
As we close in on 10 to go, watch the, we've already seen it quite a bit, but the aggression level is about to get turned up a notch or two.
Yeah, side by side, Winker and Lawson as Lawson, almost goes for a ride, able to gather that thing back up together.
What a save.
So he's going to be lucky to not wreck the truck there and really only lose one position here to the 1. But even still, a little bit of a door bang there. Again, the 20 able to save it. But he's now officially going to lose that position to the 1.
Well, it drove Derek Welch, the number 1 truck, up into the wall a little bit, slowed him down, so they should battle it out a little bit more here as next lap or 2 goes down.
As the 64 of Cale Turbeville trying to continue to work his way up through this field. Looks like everything starting to calm down just a little bit as the 88 goes around the 6 Paul Durkee. Paul Durkee having a little bit of issue there. Might have got a little
way
loose.
Sideways.
Able to get it back and turned around. He's now got a thing going on here with Mark Collins as Mark Collins able to get around him, try to squeeze his way up through and try to get up into this top 5. But Eric Stoy out in front right now, got about a half-second lead over Cody Staten, and then Kevin Winker right behind them trying to chase some of these guys down. And Derek Welch, from that little incident that he had, he's trying to claw his way back up and throw his name back into the hat and into this mix as the 20 of Lawson looks to the outside of him right now.
Look at Turbeville back here trying to use that outside passing lane again on the 97 of Griffin. It looks like he's making it work. Oh, the 97's around.
And the yellow's going to come out.
Well, I mean, we just had to have one more, didn't we?
At least. I mean,
Was that Griffin
I know this is it was Griffin that went around. I don't know if it was a similar situation we saw earlier.
Exactly the same situation with the 64 on that outside. The 97 just a little too much throttle, maybe a little too excited to try to hang on to that position and goes right around.
He remembered. Cale done it to him again.
This is going to get everybody all stacked up, and we're definitely getting down to it and ready for a exciting finish to today's race as the 20 of Justin Lawson coming down into pit lane. I don't know if I agree with that call there.
The 20?
Yeah, the 20 of Lawson coming down. He was right there, top 5, but coming down into pit lane, getting a pit stop done.
Has to be out of fuel. Why else would you do that?
Well, if anyone would be out of fuel, you would think it's the 4 of Eric Stoy, who last pitted on lap 21.
Huh. Maybe his truck's not doing what he wants it to do. I'll be. Interesting decision. We'll see if it works out for him.
Austin Johnson, one of the guys that pitted, looks like he took fuel only, just a splash or a half a can. 4-second pit stop from the 12. Well, I know this is a short track, and I know it says we only have 4 laps to go. We're going to restart with probably, 2 laps to go. But we've got 3 green-white checkers available to us.
So we got about
and
30
a
laps
lot of
left.
aggression. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a lot of racing left to do. Don't pay attention to the lap count, folks, because if this thing doesn't go green and these guys get aggressive, you're in for another 20, 30 minutes racing, maybe.
Brown hadn't had his Federal 15 either.
Oh,
This is
True,
this
I
is an
haven't
issue.
either.
I won't need one if this racing action keeps up the way it is. So it looks like we will be having ourselves a green-white checker before the official green-white checkers.
Oh, wow.
So if you're Eric Stoy, man, you're probably gonna be doing a bit of blocking up at the front here, knowing that you got the 15 and the 42, both Team America guys, Cody Staten and Kevin Winker, right there behind you, and you also got the one of Derek Welch. He's been very racy here today. Zach Staten still running up there. The 25 of Mark Collins having a great day out there. He's still up there lurking around just outside of that top 5. Same thing with that 6 of Paul Dirk. Caleb Turbeville in that 64 is going to be restarting here in 8th by the looks of it. He's still got a lot of work to do to try to maybe steal one away here kind of towards this end, but we're going to be going back to green flag racing here with our first attempt at a not official but official green-white checker as the pace truck turns down into pit lane, and here we go. Great restart there from the 4 of Eric Stoy, able to get clear. That's going to leave the teammates battling it out for second place here behind him in second. Oh no, as man, Kevin Winker had a big problem there trying to get off of turns.
Oh, 20's wrecked. And the 12.
And there's that yellow flag.
Austin Johnson.
Oh no, as there was some action after the fact too, and the 42 of Winker gets involved.
Yeah, there was like a double action wreck there. An actual wreck on the back stretch looked like, and then front stretch some other incidents.
Let's see what happened here with
several wrecks at once.
Yeah, let's see what happened here. Little 3-wide action back here with the 20, the 12. I think that was the 24. It looks like the 12 just gets up into the 20. The 5 goes Punterino all over that back bumper of the 20. What else happened here? The 12 ended up going all the way down to Andrew Hansley on that bottom line. That 33 of Special Ed able to get through. Let's take one more look here of this wreck from Brandon Coleman's perspective here, because he's able to somehow drive through it. Oh, almost didn't drive through it. Man, that was a very close call. So now let's head on up here to Kevin Winker and see what happened to him. This was just after the initial contact. He was 3 wide with the 25 and his teammate there. Oh no, looks like the might have gotten squeezed out a little bit. Or he might have done some of the squeezing there, coming up right in front of the 25 and getting all turned around there.
And let me ask you a real question about, competitiveness and drivers. And I know this is a simulation; it's not the real life deal. But what is it about when you put people in a machine, a car, truck, whatever, and they just have, at some point, they lose their mind and decide, I'm going for it, right? Is that kind of what we're seeing here tonight? Just competitive spirit, trying to, tear this thing up and win the thing, or just is it maybe that they just don't have enough experience at a smaller track like this?
Well,
Go ahead, sir.
no, I was just gonna say, at this point, man, it's all about competition. These guys are trying to gun for a win, and that's it. That's what it's all about. You don't jump into one of these cars and just do it for fun. I mean, each and every single one of us that has ever done this, everyone's got that at least a little bit of competitive side to them. They want to be the best that's out there. And as we go back and get it all stacked up to go back to green flag racing here, you can see that 4 of Eric Stoy running around trying to maybe pinch that high line up just a little bit more. as we get ready to go back to green flag racing here. So green, white checker attempt number 1 in this all-star race. Time to buckle up, strap on that drinking helmet, throw inhibition out the window. Great restart there for the 4. Looked like, oh no, the 15 of Cody Staten had a problem with that restart. Spun the tires just a little bit. That allowed the 1 of Derek Welch to get around.
Special ed.
That's going to bring out the caution. So attempt number 1 does not count. We go on to number 2, and it looks like it might have been just a little self situation there from our special ed friend.
Okay.
Yep, that it was.
Another question. I mean, I'm trying to do serious questions, even though we're in the middle of mayhem. What is Eric Story thinking here? I don't know what his level of fuel's left.
Well,
and what is he? He's getting some good restarts, and I think he can hold them off. But he last pitted on lap 21.
the restart is all he's got. I mean, let's be honest. With tires that worn, running on fumes, he needs these yellows. He needs these slower laps to conserve fuel and to conserve tire wear. But that restart, he's got it down, son. I mean, he pinches them kind of up high, and then as soon as that pace truck goes down, he's on the gas and he's turning left and he's gone.
Yeah, but the more restarts we get, the more these guys kind of get dialed in on his restarts, and I don't know if it's helping him or not.
That is a concern, but you see who's still at the top. I mean, if these guys restarting around him would have started to get a hold of it by now, you know, I don't think he'd still be in front right now. But I don't know. We'll see, man. Moving forward here, if he can hang on, but it's going to be rough. You're right. It's going to be rough. I don't know what's going through his head out there besides, hey man, I just want to stay out in front. The longer I can stay out in front, the better my chances are.
And I, like you guys said, I think that this is his really only shot at the win is by staying out in front. Like we discussed, you know, even when there was 25 to go, you know, their caution came out and we were discussing, maybe it's time for drivers like him to come down. Well, you know, if he had come down, who knows what would have happened. And at that point, you got to take that gamble of, am I going to make it or am I not going to make it? And he's taking that gamble of, I'm going to make it.
Adam, this is one of those cases where if this happened at our local track, they'd be looking for, like, you know, a fuel fitting in the roll bar or something at this point. They're going to take the hell out of that car when it hits the pit lane.
Oh yeah, the little sneaky things they do at your local track. And the guy's probably wearing fuel in his fire suit. Hell,
Yeah.
they do some crazy things. Oh,
It just added another lap of caution to try to wave some cats around here, it looks like.
They also try to get everybody all caught back up. It's like a couple people might have had some issues trying to get caught up and had a little spin or something and wasn't able to get back going. So one more lap and then we get going here with attempt number 2 at this green-white checker finish here, coming at you from North Wilkesboro in this HCK Beagles All-Star Race.
It's been one heck of an all-star race, I'll tell you that. We kind of knew what was going to happen because we watched the practice race last week. But this is really, with the heat racing to start out and then this awesome feature, this is one of the most exciting races I've seen in a long time in any league that we've covered. It's been a blast.
Pace truck comes down, and here we go. Attempt number 2 now underway. Another good restart there from the 4, able to get way out in front of the 1, able to easily hang on to that position. So the 1 of Derek Wells trying to chase down that 1, and chase down that 4 and try to get to the inside of him as we come through turns 3 and 4. Are we going to make it across the line, take to this white flag? Yes, we are. So final lap here. No more cautions in this All-Star race. It's going to be decided at the end of this lap. You got the Statons, you got Cody Staton and Kevin Winker side by side here battling for third as Eric Stoy holding off Derek Welsh here in the final turn. He's going to be driving down and across the line. Just enough fuel to pick up the win here, with Kevin Winker just able to beat out his teammate by .02 to finish here in third.
Together, the 88 of Staten is not going to be able to cross the finish line, I don't believe.
Yeah, I think a couple of those Team America guys ran into each other, but man, what a story with Eric Stoy. What kind of strategy he had, and well, I can't wait to talk to him about how he held that thing off.
We appreciate everybody watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. AJ Godsey saying, woohoo, go Stoy. Congratulations, buddy.
So you got a little victory tap there from teammate the 6 of Paul Durkee saying, hey man, congratulations. Don't know how you did it, bringing that Trojan truck home, but that is exactly what Eric Stoy did.
I'll tell you what, Derek Welch really wanted that, you could tell, and did everything he could to try to get up there and make it happen, but the master of the restarts tonight, Eric Stoy, out there still burning them tires down. He had tires and fuel to spare, boys.
Goodness gracious. Well, while he does that, let's start some of these interviews underway. And we can start that one off with our third place finisher here tonight in this All-Star race. And that's that 42 of Kevin Winker. Man, Kevin, we know you were chatting it up in the Discord all week long. Man, all I do is plate tracks. All I do is this. All I do is that. But man, you were definitely looking like a contender here tonight. Just not able to stay out of all the problems. Quite a few of those being netcode to try to bring home the win here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think I probably passed the most cars. I think I went front to back about 4 times, so maybe I'll get an award for that. But overall, good race. Like I said, I'd never really ran here before, so it's a learning curve. Congrats to Eric on the win. He just dominated. All on them restarts, that's what won the race, was all them restarts nailing them.
Well, talk about the heat racing tonight, because that's something we haven't really seen with your league, but it just added much more fun, at least for us, and I'm sure the people watching, because they didn't get to watch one race tonight. They got to watch 4. So is this something you'd like to see maybe instituted more, as you guys maybe do some smaller tracks like this every now and then?
Yeah, that was a blast doing that, split up into 3 heats, then racing, and then it was kind of a slippery slope because it was inverted, so you almost didn't want to be at the front. But then they said that if we were sandbagging, then we would get a penalty, so you almost had to go out there and race. And then the other 2 heat races are pretty good. I know a couple of them guys that don't usually run up front are running up front there and got good finishes, so it's good screen time for everybody tonight.
Yeah, Team America had a really good run. Y'all were up front, had some incidents. Well, tell us about those paint jobs. We were wondering what was going on with those.
Yeah, Josh, who can't make it tonight, he's down in Daytona. He made him up with the whole idea of drawing with a crayon. So I really don't know where it came from. It's just kind of a funny idea we came up with, and I think that turned out pretty sweet, actually. So props to him for making all them for us.
Well, man,
you could definitely tell who was out there. Go ahead, Brown. Congrats, man, on the P3.
Yeah, just those paint jobs did look good, especially when all 3 of you guys were up there together. I know you had a little bit of an issue there, but still a P3 up 11 spots. That's a 4-way tie for our Hard Charger of the Day award here tonight, which is something pretty crazy. But, still All-Star race. Got to go for that win. Just not quite there. But, man, before we let you go, got any shout-outs or anything like that you want to put out there?
Yeah, I just want to thank Eddie for sponsoring tonight's race, and then Muleburger Custom Homes. I know they sponsor Josh in all the races, and then a couple of the extra races, so thanks for that coming on board. Thanks to Josh for putting out the paint schemes. Probably kind of different, but we thought they were cool and funny, so hopefully everybody else enjoyed them. Thanks to Cody and Zach for hard racing there. Great finish for all of us tonight. I think we all got top 5 maybe, not sure. But thanks to them. Thanks to everybody in the league, Greg, Eddie, Austin, everybody in here that makes it go around. You guys in the booth, killing it every week. And then my buddies Justin and Brandon, they're watching every week and they comment down there. So thanks to them for tuning in.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the third place finish here tonight. And as we enter in the closing stages of this season, we wish you nothing but the best of luck here for a season championship here, bud.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so now we'll move up that leaderboard to our second place finisher, and that's going to be the number 1 Numb Thumbs Gaming Truck himself of Derek Welch. Man, you had the speed, but it was just those cautions and those restarts at the end that I think just got you in a second place here rather than the win.
Yeah, I had a pretty frustrating night all night. My steering wheel was acting up on me. Felt like I just tapped the pedal. My brakes locked up on me. I was doing all kinds of adjustments throughout the night, and I finally got up towards the front, dodging all the wrecks. And Cody, he hot cornered me on one of them turns right there, and but all in all, I got back up there with Stoy, and I was gonna put my nose up under him. I said, "No, I'm not gonna do that to him." So it was a good race. Second place. I can't get away from second place in this. Finished second last week and had a practice race yesterday. Finished second place and finished second again.
Well, I tell you what, you're at least consistent.
Yeah, I guess so.
But in all seriousness, this is kind of more your cup of tea. This short track, going up and rubbing on trucks, and we saw from the beginning that you weren't afraid to get in there and get close quarters with some guys. And despite your technical issues that you had, and your buddies from Numb Thumbs trash talking you on YouTube, you still did a great job tonight, finishing 2/10 out of the lead. Man, great job. I mean, it was really something to see you stick with it, even with the adversity, that you had with your technical problems, and it was just awesome, man.
Oh yeah, I was about ready to throw the steering wheel through the window right here. I was so aggravated, and but yeah, it was all in all, it ended up being pretty good. I wish I could have brought out the win, but Stoy was pretty good tonight.
Yeah, he was, but I know this is an all-star race, but people got a little racy here, and I'm wondering if y'all as race car drivers out there, you remember who got racy at what time and when, and if that's going to carry over for some fun action throughout the season.
I mean, I didn't really have no problems with tonight. I mean, I did have that one incident with Cody, kind of coming hot corner, but I mean that's just part of racing. I will tell you this: I do have somebody on my radar. He wasn't here tonight, but I do have somebody on my radar. I will tell you that. I'm not gonna say no names.
I love to see. I love to hear. Congrats on the P2.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, again, like you said, Derek, congrats on the P2, bringing that Toyota home pretty well up there in the front. Before we let you go, got any shout-outs or anything like that you want to put out there?
Just thanks for Gregory putting on this great lead he's got going on here. And I mean, I hate super speedways, but I enjoy all the guys racing with the guys here. And shout out to everybody at Numb Thumbs Gaming. I love everybody there, and that's about it.
Awesome, man. Well, again, good luck here the remainder of the season. Let's see that one truck try to bring one home.
I hope.
Adam, are you doing like me and trying to figure out who wasn't here tonight?
Right. Well, I'm going to do the math after we talk to Eric. Yeah, we're going to do some research.
All right, so as we say that, we'll bring up the big winner here, taking home $50 whole, and that's that of Eric Stoy, somehow being able to get that truck home with last pitting on lap 21. Man, Eric, how the heck did you do that, man? We were up here thinking, man, how is this guy still driving? Does he have extra fuel in that thing?
No, it's just how the fuel played out, just all the cautions out there just helped me out there, and I don't know about the tires. I think it was just the lines I was running, and it just all played out at the end.
Well, one thing's for sure: if this was real life, there'd be inspectors all over that thing looking for fuel fittings on the roll bar and all kinds of stuff, smoky eunuch type tricks out there. But in all seriousness, uh, we talked about it. Said, man, should he pit? Should he stay out? But you had the right strategy, and that is, if you're out front, stay out front as long as you can. Consequences be damned. It's really worth just pushing the envelope, and if you can get another caution or two, and it helps you along, so be it. And it worked out for you, man. Great finish from starting way back in 12th.
Appreciate it. Yeah, track position here is huge. There's a couple of times my teammate and he said, should we pit? And I was like, I'm gonna stay out. There's no need. All these cautions, my tires were cool down. So it's a risky take, and it was the right one.
Yeah, and we talked to Kevin, and we talked about it in the booth earlier about, man, the restarts, you were just ripping away. Great job. I don't know how you were doing it, but you seemed to get a good jump on every restart, and I think that played into your victory there. And how nervous were you, though, looking in that rear view those last few laps as it was ticking down?
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for the good restarts that I had, I doubt I would have had it. It's just those restarts helped me dive into the corners where I needed to be at, and yeah, just watching in my mirror, just hoping somebody would make a mistake behind me and give me some breathing room. But every caution that did come out kind of frustrated me, but I knew I had to get back on it when the green flag dropped.
Well, man, you definitely did that every single time that green flag did drop. Like you said, man, those restarts were probably the reason why you won here tonight. And congratulations on picking up that win, bringing that 4 truck home. You got any shout outs or anything like that?
Well, shout out just to my team. I mean, we had a good time in the chat room, and shout out to my girlfriend. She's sick right now, so she couldn't watch. So just hopefully she's feeling better.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats, Eric, on the All-Star Race win here tonight. We look forward to seeing what you can do with that Ford truck here the rest of the season, and good luck here trying to race for that championship.
Appreciate it, fellas. Thank you.
All right, so we'll let Eric do a few more victory donuts here as, man, he still has some fuel in that thing.
He still has fuel. I'm telling you, man. They better check him.
That they might have to do, but all in all-star race-wise, man, it couldn't have gone any better. This has been a great choice of a track to hold this thing at.
I'm 100%, man. It's great to see the Super Speedway League do their all-star race somewhere different, and there's really not a better place to do it.
Well, there were some challenges. I would like to see their next one, maybe at Charlotte or Texas, to change it up too. But hey, it was fun and something totally different from these Super Speedway guys and the HCK Beagles Racing League. Check them out, hckbeaglesracingleague.com. Quite an all-star race, and looking forward to the next race in a week from today.
iRacing Super Speedway. That's going to be crazy. Every time we go there, especially in these trucks, it's insane because the trucks get such a huge run. The transitions are just, they can murder you, so it's going to be fun.
Yes, it will be. So as we start to wind things down here from North Wilkesboro, let's go through the final finishing order here tonight, and that's Eric Stoy, part of that 4-way tie for the Hard Charger Award up here at the front, bringing home the win. Great run from him. Same thing with that one of Derek Welch, able to move up 9 spots from where he started in this feature to finish in second. Kevin Winker in that 42, tied for that Hard Charger, up 11 spots, finishing here in third. Same thing with teammate 15 of Cody Staten, finishing here in fourth, up 11. And as well as that 64 of Cale Turbeville, making an interesting late pit stop call there, Was very questioning that, but able to squeak away with a top 5, also up 11. So quite a few guys up quite a few spots. That 25, Mark Collins had a great night. He finished here in 6th with the 97 of Rodney Griffin. Man, he and Cale Turpville have some mind games or something going on. Hopefully he can figure that one out, but he's able to walk away here with a 7th. Had that 6 of Paul Durkee coming in 8th with the 110 of Richard Michelob Gray in 9th. And rounding out tonight's top 10 is that 54 of Brandon Coleman.
I know Miss Carroll wanted to see him do a little bit better, but Andrew Hansley the fourth in the 24 machine put on a pretty good show with the inverted field. He still finished in 11th, but Austin Johnson had a few problems out there tonight, and that 12 and the 12 truck finishes in 12th after starting way up in 3rd. Zachary Staten was running way up front there when they threw the white flag, and he had some traction issues, let's say, maybe caused by some other vehicles on the track on the last lap, and didn't get to cross the finish line. He'll be scored the last lap, or the last truck on the lead lap. Eddie Murray, tonight's sponsor, Paints by Special Ed. Eddie Murray finishing the first truck one lap down in 14th place. The 69 of Little Rimmer, Gregory Turner, finishing in 15th place, all one lap down. Justin Lawson in the 20 had some problems here late. Really, really strong Maxwell House truck. That thing was up front so much tonight, it was ridiculous. But ended up finishing 3 laps down in 16th. Stephen Naylor in that number 5 Kellogg's machine, Cornflakes machine, I should say, finishing 4 laps down in 17th. And the 31 of Brad Clay, another one of those trucks, very, very strong, was doing a great job. And looks like he run out of fast repairs or forgot to recheck it or something. And man, just ended up getting stuck in the pits for the last 35 laps or so of the race. So tough night for the 31 of Bradley Clay.
And that rounds out your field here tonight from the All-Star Race here at North Wilkesboro from this HCK Beagle Super Speedway Racing League. We thank you all for tuning in and watching. You all are the reason why we do this. Otherwise, it'd just be 3 random dudes just sitting there acting crazy watching a race. So we thank you all for tuning in and supporting us and having some fun with us. As well as big thank you to our tonight's sponsor, which is Paints by Special Ed, our own Eddie Murray, as we mentioned here before and throughout this broadcast. Go check him out. We put a promo post out there on our Facebook at m.tv. Go check it out because it's got a link that goes directly to his Trading Paints page where you can get a hold of him and take a look at his portfolio of work that he's done, as he's got quite a few good-looking trucks and other cars painted up on there. So go give tonight's sponsor of Paints by Special Ed some love. With that, we return to racing action tomorrow night at Daytona with the Vigilante Racing League. They're going around that massive track for I think it's 100 laps or so. So they're in for a long one there tomorrow night. But it's going to be high speed plate track action, as well as these guys are going to be returning to that here next week at iRacing Super Speedway. So definitely a lot of racing to look forward to coming up as this season starts to kind of get close to championship time. We'll see what the standings look like coming up here. And man, I think we're in store for a close finish here for a championship. With that being said, for Alan English and Adam Turner, I'm Alan Brown. We're signing off.
We gone.
See ya.